What is running through a man's mind when he's first falling in love? What are the questions that he might have in his brain that he's asking himself that he doesn't want to share with you? I want to talk about 7 of them today so you can have a better understanding of men and ultimately have better relationships with men. Before we dive in, don't forget my new free guide is now available. It was supposed to be part of a product, but it is now free for you. I thought I'd put it in. It's basically an extension of chapter 12 of my book. It's called Commitment Currencies, and it talks all about the boyfriend benefits, the things men come to relationships for, and how to be aware of those and use those so that you can get the commitment from the guy and ultimately get the healthy relationship. So what questions do men ask when we are first falling in love? Well, number 1, we ask ourselves, does she feel the same way back? It goes without saying that love is a pretty vulnerable state. It's kind of a scary place to be. And even though you might not think it, us men are just as scared as you when we're first falling in love. We're worried it's not reciprocated. We're worried we might be hurt. So one of the biggest questions we are asking ourselves and trying to figure out an answer to is, oh geez, I'm in love with her. I'm falling in love with her. Does she feel the same way back? The second question we ask ourselves when we're first falling in love is it too early to tell her? Will it freak you out? Will you run away? Love is a very vulnerable space. And when you're falling in love, you're enamored by someone. You're just thinking about them all the time. You're obsessed with them. You want to be with them. But saying I love you at the wrong time could end everything. It could completely ruin it. If it freaks you out, you're going to pull right back and we've probably lost the relationship. So one of the biggest questions we're asking ourselves after does she feel the same way is, well, when can I tell her? Is it too early? And is she going to run a mile if I open my mouth? For a man, as long as it's in his head, there's an element of safety there. There's an element of, okay, I can still protect myself. I can still have the relationship. But as soon as I put it out there, I can't take it back. So I need to make sure the timing is right. The third question we men are asking ourselves when we're falling in love is, how do I keep this going? We don't want to lose it. As I say, we're already thinking about, is it reciprocated and is it the right time to say it? But what if it fades? What if it goes away? When we're in love and we're falling in love for the first time, we're enamored by you. We want to be with you. We're thinking about all these things we've done with you and all these things we want to do with you. But all those things out in the future, well, what if they don't happen? What if something goes wrong? So immediately that raises the question for us of, okay, well, how do I make sure nothing goes wrong? How do I keep this going? Which leads me on to the fourth question men ask, and this is not one we care to admit, but it's absolutely true. How can I better please her in the bedroom? Again, when we're in love, we're feeling in love, we don't want to lose it. Once we have it, grab on. We don't want to lose it. And every man knows that a woman, that you, can easily go out and get more sex if the sex with him sucks. So he's conscious of, am I pleasing her in the bedroom? Is she satisfied with intimacy? How can I better please her when it comes to sex? When a man is falling in love, he doesn't want you to go anywhere. And one of the biggest things that will keep you is good sex. He knows that and he's asking himself, how can I continue to make sure she's satisfied in the bedroom? Number 5 question a man's asking himself is, am I proud to be seen with her? Because a man can fall in love with you, but he still has his greater life to consider and the impact being in love with you will have on his life. If he's proud to be seen with you, if he loves the impression you make in public, if he loves you when you're around his friends and his family, that's a big green tick, a big green flag in the I'm allowed to fall in love with her category. On the other hand, if he's falling in love with you, but there's going to be negative consequences for his social life, for his work, for his family relationships, that presents a dissonance, a lot of friction between what he's feeling in private versus what he's feeling in public. That's one of the biggest struggles men have, or it's one of the biggest things we need to think about when we're falling in love is, okay, is this path leading in the right direction for the rest of my life? If I let myself fall in love with her, if I let myself love her, am I going to regret it or am I going to be proud of it in a public setting? And number 6, following on from the consequences of falling in love, the question a lot of men ask themselves is, do I like her family? If he hasn't met your family yet, it's when will I meet her family? But assuming he's falling in love, he's probably met some of your family. And again, when a man's falling in love, he has to consider the consequences because every man knows inside that falling in love has certain ramifications. One of those could be children one day. One of those could be family, right? One of those could be a commitment to being responsible to you and having relationship conversations and doing certain things. So falling in love comes with some considerations. And one of those considerations is your family. If he's falling in love with you, spending more time with you, then he's going to be spending a lot of time with you, potentially even the rest of his life. So a man will be asking himself, okay, As a consequence, do I like her family? Can I see myself being around those people for a long time to come? Do I enjoy the interactions and the effects that they have? And again, if he hasn't met your family, it's when will I meet her family? That's always a thing in the back of his mind, is what's her family like? Will they be okay with me? Will I like them? Falling in love has consequences, and men are asking these questions because they are considering those consequences. And the seventh question a man is asking himself when he's falling in love deep in his brain is, I wonder when we will together. Or even, I wonder if we will together. When you're falling in love, it's because you've had amazing experiences with someone. You've shared great energy, you've shared passions, you've gone on dates, you've had fun, you've connected in conversation, your values are similar. There's so many things that are going well when you're falling in love. But there's so many things to look forward to as well. And so when a man is really falling in love, he's thinking, oh man, I wonder if we will blank together. Travel overseas, have kids, have a family, go to this place that I've always wanted to go to my favorite mall or museum or park or entertainment thing that he likes. Whatever it is, he's thinking about if he'll get to do it with you, or if he's more confident when he'll get to do it with you. Falling in love is a beautiful experience, and men just like you are looking forward to what that will entail. So he's asking himself, hey, I'm really looking for blank. I wonder when we will get to blank together. Tell me in the comments, what questions are you asking yourself when you're falling in love with a man? I'd love to hear them. Hit the subscribe button with the little bell. Don't forget your free download, and my book are in the description as well, and I'll see you real soon.